Hey, this is Rahul from RideWithRahul.com and a very happy new year to my subscribers and viewers across the world. This video is done in collaboration with Max Tremo. He has walkarounds of all the latest bikes in his channel in 4K quality, so please visit his channel for that and tell him Ride with Rahul sent you. We are at the EICMA to take a look at the top upcoming superbikes of 2016. The bike we are currently looking at, however, is the Suzuki's MotoGP bike, the RRGSX. After Yamaha, it's Suzuki's turn to be inspired from their MotoGP machine and turn it into a road legal production motorcycle. In Suzuki's own words, the king of sports bikes is back. The leader class bike brings groundbreaking technology with its VVT or variable valve timing. It broadens the power band. When you're thinking sports bike, it's mostly peaky power, high up the rev range and impractical in everyday use. With the GSX-R 1000 concept, Suzuki tries to redefine all that. With this VVT technology, the bike shifts towards Harley-like torque at bottom revs, then progressively changes to sport bike timing at peak revs. Best of both worlds, they say. The compromise between high peak power or more filling mid-range has finally been broken by this motorcycle. As this is officially a concept, Suzuki has not released the detailed specs. The complete suite of electronics is, however, provided. We have ride-by-wire and a 10-level traction control system which is adjustable while riding. 3 selectable modes of engine power delivery, which is also known as the STMS. We have electronic ABS, we have launch control and a quick shifter system for both up and down shifts. The downshifting is being implemented using an auto blipper. We're not expecting this motorcycle till the end of 2016, but when it comes, it will be a game changer. That is why I decided to start with the Gixxer. After a slice of the near future, let's look at the bikes that you would be able to buy right across the counter from the early months of 2016. Not exactly a superbike in the exact sense of the term, but it's too big to be called a super sports. This is the Ducati 959 Panigale. The outgoing 899, which this motorcycle replaces, wasn't a slow bike by any standards, but it required a lot of revs to build up the peak power and it was getting beaten by its competitors. So Ducati engineers beefed up the bottom end and mid-range by increasing stroke length, which resulted in a 57cc overall increase. The new motorcycle produces 157 bhp with a 80 pound-feet torque at the crank. Thing I like about Ducati is even in its super sport equivalent, you're going to get the full electronics package. So you're getting the 8-way traction control, which is adjustable, and you have a 3-way engine braking control as well with the multi-mode ABS. The chassis and the engine are the same as before, but the body panels see a few aesthetic tweaks, highlighted by a wider front snout with bigger air intake scoops, a reworked tail section, and an all-new exhaust. The bike also gets a new engine mapping. Let me know in the comment section below whether you like this all-new exhaust or whether you like the exhaust on the previous 899 Panigale. Moving on to the third bike, it's the Yamaha MT-10. Leader class naked bikes from Japan is nothing new, but I'm excited about this bike because it gets all the electronic package and meets the BMW S1000R and the 210 V4 head on. This will be at the top of the food chain on the MT and FZ series of motorcycles. This is essentially a 2015 Yamaha YZF R1 stripped down to a naked bike. Yamaha gets passively aggressive with the design. There is a deliberate attempt to redefine the brand's styling cues from the past year and looking really good with this completely new shaped headlight and well proportioned geometric body panels on the MT-10. Yamaha's trademark 998cc cross-plane crankshaft inline-4 engine is there and the power figures have not come in yet. I'm expecting around 160 bhp at the rear wheel with a boost to the low and mid-range power. If you remember the cost-effective version of the R1, which was called the R1S, which got the steel rods connecting the engine instead of the titanium parts, well, this bike follows the same formula and it also loses the gyroscope sensors which were present in the track version of the 2015 R1. Should be interesting to see the final pricing on this one. There is no word yet on whether this bike will be released in the USA or in the Indian market. We're going to do this in a way, one naked bike and one faired bike. So moving into the fourth motorcycle on the list, the 2016 Kawasaki ZX-10R. I had ridden the 2015 version of this bike and I had absolutely loved it. But the 2016 version gets a ton of changes. They're taking all of their research and development from the World Superbike series, and now it has been implemented into a production motorcycle. Last year it was Yamaha's turn to change it all up from MotoGP, and this year it's Kawasaki. And for the end user, it's really a win-win situation because you're getting to use state-of-the-art technology on an over-the-counter sport bike. All the motorcycle brands base their electronics package on their vehicle dynamics model. Simply put, it's a mathematical model which is used to predict the behavior of the motorcycle in space and adjust the fueling and suspension in real time to make the motorcycle ready to tackle the upcoming section in the pre-programmed tracks that are already fed into the software. So this is basically a 5-axis gyro system feeding the information of this motorcycle into the ECU, which makes real-time adjustments into the motorcycle while it's blazing past a racetrack, while taking into account wheel speed, throttle angle, brake line pressure, engine RPM, etc. Other major advancements include the balance-free fork from Showa, which makes its debut from the WSBK for the first time on a production motorcycle. It's supposed to take fraction of seconds directly off lap times, and it would be nice to see how it compares against the 2015 R1. Another important thing is that this motorcycle gets a cornering management system, which is for those of you who like to brake within corner or use trail braking. Now when you're doing that, the bike tends to stand up, making you run wide. With this motorcycle, the bike tries to maintain the lean angle even when you're braking, and it makes the cornering a little easier. Sounds fancy? We'll have to see what it feels like in real life. Now let's take a look at a different sort of a motorcycle which is definitely taking the internet by storm. Everybody who loves motorcycles loves this bike. I've never seen anyone who doesn't like a Ducati Diavel, and with the 2016 X-Diavel, I think we're going to love it even more if that is possible. 2016 version gets a belt final drive. The forward mounted controls have been punched out further with more relaxed tracker style handlebars, and it gets bigger displacement engine. So Ducati is definitely believing in there is no replacement for displacement sort of stuff. And what is new with the desmodromic variable valve timing engine is that it has a longer stroke and a higher compression ratio. The result? The engine delivers the peak torque at much lower RPM. The previous version delivered around 96 pound-feet at 8000 RPM, but the current version is delivering 95 pound-feet at 5000 RPM, which means that the torque is available right in the low and mid range. This should completely change the feel of the motorcycle and put the torque to rival some of the dedicated cruisers from Harley-Davidson. Styling also sees major revamp, with the air intake scoops disappearing, displaying more of the beautiful trellis frame. The headlight shroud is also gone, the exhaust pipes have been rerouted, and the new motorcycle has a more minimalist, pure concept bike type look, which hypes its all-new LED headlight unit. But why should you buy it over the other cruisers? Well, you're getting various riding modes with cruise control, there is cornering ABS, and there is a hands-free communication unit and a TFT dashboard. Basically, you're getting an ultra-modern cruiser which is extremely futuristic. Before we get too engrossed into the Ducati world, let's get back to the sport bike world from another European motorcycle maker, Aprilia. In 2016, it's not an all-new bike. The marked difference this year is the improvement of throttle response all across its 14,200 rev range. Some major changes come in the mapping. The rain map is gone and now it's replaced by a race map. So the three modes are sport, track and race. There is a quick shifter, but the downshift are done by clutch because there is no auto blipper. Aprilia was one of the first brands to introduce a full electronics package into production motorcycle, and it gets ABS, traction control, wheelie control, launch control, and now even there is an iOS app which requires you to connect your iPhone to the motorcycle over Wi-Fi, and then on pre-programmed circuits around the world you can get real-time turn-by-turn adjustment of traction and wheelie control, which basically means you can go into the details and fine-tune the motorcycle according to your riding preferences. After the power saturations, brands have realized that they can't just increase the power of superbikes every year, and now the focus is making that power more usable and making the motorcycle safer with electronic aids, and at the same time making it faster motorcycle to ride on track. Optional electronic aids are becoming standard across all brands, and though some people are against it, this is definitely going to happen more and more in future. For 2016, a new street model called the KTM SuperDuke GT has come out. Now this is a very exciting motorcycle because it's based on the award-winning 1290 SuperDuke. The GT is a more touring-oriented bike with a half fairing, a slightly large passenger seat, and saddlebags as standard. This sounds like a simple upgrade, and to an experienced motorcycle manufacturer like KTM, it really is. Now, they have included reshaped combustion chambers that optimize chain swirl, narrower intake ports that smooth throttle response at low RPM, and the new connecting rods with improved bearings. This is just smaller changes to the bike, and the clutch has been hardened to 10% to allow extended high-speed running. We get a new muffler to boost the low and mid-range while still meeting the noise standards. Like the SuperDuke R, the GT boasts of all the latest rider aids, among which the main is motorcycle stability control, developed by Bosch. This incorporates cornering ABS, traction control, wheelie control, and rear wheel mitigation, hill hold assist, and a few other things into one single package, and also all the other standard electronics is there. This is basically a more practical SuperDuke. They've taken the SuperDuke and made it more comfortable, so this is basically for the crazy guys who would like to take such a motorcycle to tour. And with that motorcycle, we conclude the video today. If you have liked this video, please give it a like and share it in your social media. If this is your first time on the channel, please subscribe to Ride with Rahul. I'll see you very soon with more and more videos, and something really big is coming, so stay subscribed and stay connected. Happy New Year once again.